Ladies and gentlemen, Allen or Lamar MVP? Yep, we're talking about it, people. We are talking about it. Why are we talking about this topic? Because I know it's very interesting. And that's why I want to talk about this topic. It's Allen or Lamar. Some people might even be saying, should it be Sam Darnold? Look at Sam Darnold and look at what he's been doing over there with Minnesota. A lot of people are saying it should be. It should be one of these guys making it. And I'm almost like, I mean, yeah, but yeah, I mean, some people believe that Josh Allen's gonna get it because of voter fatigue. Lamar already got it last year. Is he gonna go ahead and have it again this year? Um, Me personally, I find it to be very interesting, guys. Because at one point, with the way that Josh Allen beat the Lions, which is a top 3 team in the league, the way they beat them, the resiliency to be able to beat the Lions, I was like, ooh, I think I think Josh Allen might have secured the MVP, right? But then you come and you check it out and you see what Lamar is doing left and right, and you're like, holy smokes. Lamar is cooking with fireworks at this point. Like the man is just amazing. But then you've got a Sam Darnold that a lot of people are making a case. Look, his numbers are very comparable to these other players. Like, why are we just sticking to, oh, it's got to be one or the other? Like, why can't we take a look at the fact and see that maybe perhaps it should be um a Sam Darnold that we consider? Even a Joe Burrow? Maybe? Hmm? Maybe even a Joe Burrow? Joe Burr? I mean, I'll tell you this. I know I've heard people say if Joe Burrow gets the Bengals from being 1-3 or 0-3 to then winning and getting into the playoffs and getting his team into the playoffs, some people say because it is a regular season MVP, we know he's got the numbers as far as the yardage, as far as the touchdowns, as far as the games he's played. But he doesn't have the record because he has one of the worst, if not the worst, defense on earth. And you're almost like, dang. Mm, maybe it should be. Mm, maybe it should be him. I don't know. All I know is that right now people are making a case for those other two guys, for Sam Darnold and for Joe Burrow. But no, guys, I still think it's gonna be between Lamar and Allen. I've heard people say, "Oh well, Lamar, he's got Zay Flowers, he's got Mark Andrews, but that's it. Oh, he's got Derrick Henry, he's got a whole team around him. Does he really though? I mean, I give you Derrick Henry there. All right, it's Derrick Henry. But it's not like Derrick Henry is the sole runner of that team, because it's not. He's not. That's the thing that I sometimes I'm like, I wonder. I'm like, do people see this or not? Because yes, although they do have Derrick Henry, guess what? Lamar's still up there when it comes to rushing yards. Funny enough, so is Josh Allen. These two couldn't be more alike than people think, to be honest with you. Half the time I'm thinking these guys are thinking I'm running first before I'm throwing this ball. Both of them. Because a lot of people want to put that on just Lamar Jackson, and no. Josh Allen does the same thing. The same thing. And I understand. It may not be Prime Henry, but it's still Derrick Henry, though. It's still Derrick Henry. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about maybe Saquon should win and he got 2,000 yards in the 16 games. You know, he's technically 101 yards away from getting the overall record. But guess what? Saquon Barkley already said, nope, I'm sitting out week 17 or week 18, game 17. Because he already knows, even if he did break it, he wouldn't even be breaking it for real. Because guess what? It being 17 games. Oh, well, of course, that asterisk will always be there. Well, of course. He broke it. He had a whole other game to play. He didn't want to hear it. He's like, look, I got the 2,000 yards. Only 8 other players in the entire league of all time have gotten 2,000 yards. So some people advocate for Saquon Barkley too. But we all know it should be called the quarterback most valuable player or the MVQB, because 99.9% of the time they give it to a quarterback anyways. Which is why I'm not even considering Saquon Barkley, even though I personally think, yeah, he should be heavily considered as an MVP of the league. Because guess what? You're more likely to win a Super Bowl than you are of getting 2,000 rushing yards in a season. It's insane. It's insane. So when you're taking a look at the team, when you're when you see the Dolphins, not the Dolphins, when you're seeing the Bills doing what they're doing, being so effective, being so efficient. When you're seeing Josh Allen, this is statistically one of his best years, but for one major stat, and that is his extremely low number of interceptions. This one year over other years, he's actually protected the ball. He's finally protecting the ball. Before you could have, man, shoot. Before you could have easily been like, yeah, he's got great numbers, but he's got double digit interceptions. Like, I mean, what do you want? It's just not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like it just didn't make any sense. So most people, obviously, they're probably thinking, man, this is the first time we're seeing this kind of production out of Josh Allen, having so many minimal interceptions. Maybe this might be the time he actually gets the MVP. But then you take a look at Lamar's numbers and you're like, ooh, hold up. Wait a minute. Lamar pretty much has the same numbers as he does, and they're better. Oh, Miss Phins, what do you mean? Don't worry, because I know you guys love to say it, so let me help you out. Here you go. Let's take a look at them. 3,731 passing yards for Josh Allen, 10th in the league. 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. That right there, for that alone, congratulations, Allen, because you've been pretty bad your entire career. His QBR 76.7. Ooh. What about Lamar? Don't worry. I got him up here too. 3,955 yards. 39 passing touchdowns. Tied for second. Ooh. 4 interceptions. 78 QBR. Ooh. Now, some people might bring up, well, Josh Allen has been playing with a broken hand. True, true. I'm not going to deny that. He's been playing with a broken hand. Okay, yeah. We don't make excuses for nobody. You see the numbers. Here's the Allen in passing, because everybody's always talking about how, oh, Lamar's only got him because he's got rushing yards. Well, guess what? Josh Allen does the same thing. He's got almost 200 yards more than him in passing. He actually does have over 200 yards in passing. 28 touchdowns to 39. That's 9 more passing touchdowns than him and 2 less interceptions. His QBR is also higher by 1.3 points. Better QBR. But okay, no worries. Let's take a look at some more stuff. Let's take a look at the 2024 passing, right? Let's start out with Josh Allen. Josh Allen, ladies and gentlemen. 307 completions out of 483 attempts. 63.6 completion percentage. That's actually pretty decent. Averaged 7.7 in his passing game. 64 his longest. His QBR, 101.4. That's actually pretty good. Let's take a look at Lamar. 300 out of 442. 67.9 completion percentage, ladies and gentlemen. His average, a whole other yard more. 1.2 yards more average per game, per play, or pass. 8.9. 39 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. 84 was his longest. Passer rating, 121.6. So I understand why some people want to say, man, this is Josh Allen's time. Look at him protecting the ball. Look at what he's doing. This is the best you're seeing him. And guess what? This is the best we have seen Josh Allen. And let me add to this. In a year when, number one, they haven't been favored to win the Super Bowl like they always get favored. Number two, and this is probably why, less pressure. Everybody said, yeah, they're in a semi-rebuilding because he doesn't really have that many weapons. Or weapons where you could say, holy smokes, okay, he's got this guy. Now, let's not pretend like he doesn't have some weapons, because he does. He's still got James Cook. He's still got Amari Cooper. He's got weapons. He's still got Kincaid. He's still got Knox. He's got his guys. So we're not going to just pretend like he doesn't have nobody. Yes, he does. But it's comparable to what Lamar has on the opposite end. So this is very interesting to me personally. How close these two players are. This is Lamar's numbers. These are Josh Allen's number. One major difference. The completion percentage, much better for Lamar. Yardage, better These are passing numbers, guys. I'm not even adding rushing numbers. We're going to talk about those in a second. Just passing numbers. Because that's typically what a lot of people want to rag on Lamar for. Oh, he can't be, you know, that good because he can't, all he does is run. Guess what? So does Josh Allen. So let's take a look at those rushing numbers. Oh, and in the last 5 games, win, 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 loss, win, right? For who? For what's his name? For that was for Allen. This is for Lamar. Win, 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 loss, win. Both of them. Let's take a look at the rushing numbers now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. Take a look at the rushing numbers. These are Josh Allen's number. I don't know why I can't say his name. I don't know who Allison is, but they're stuck up here for some reason. Josh Allen's number in the last 5 games alone, just the last 5 games. 17 yards, 30 yards, 68 yards, 82 yards, 18 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rushing touchdowns. Holy smokes. That's really good. That's really good. And how many carries? This is 11, 22, 32, 35 carries in the last 5 games. Just the last 5 games. Let's take a look at Lamar Jackson's. Only 2 touchdowns? What? What? So the so-called run first quarterback only has 2 rushing touchdowns in the last 5? Out of how many carries? What is this? 13, 19, 19, 29, 30. Hold on. You had 16, 29, 35. 35 carries, so pretty much the same as Josh Allen. But only 2 touchdowns, guys. Only 2 touchdowns. Now his yardage, though, a lot more than Josh Allen. 87 yards, 22 yards, 65 yards, 79 yards, 15 yards. So you're getting a lot more yardage to extend plays from Lamar, but really only 2 touchdowns versus Josh Allen, who gave you yardage, not as much, but the man literally had 7 touchdowns on the ground game. So let's add those 7 touchdowns to Josh Allen. How many did he have? 28. 28 plus 7, you're looking at 36 touchdowns. 35 touchdowns. 35 total touchdowns for Josh Allen. Okay. Let's add Lamar's then, because there's only 2 more. 41. Even with the extra rushing touchdowns, he's still 6 touchdowns less than Lamar Jackson. Miss Phins, but all you're looking at is just stats. You gotta take a look at gameplay. Take a look at situational play. Yeah, I'm taking a look at situational play. Of course, I'm taking a look at situational play. And situationally, both players have had really good gameplay versus tough teams. But don't worry. Let me pull up the schedule for both players and let's see overall How do they look? Okay. Let's take a look at Josh Allen's. Somewhere over the sea. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so this is Josh Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, out of his entire regular season, what big teams has he actually beat? Okay, Detroit. Won to Detroit. That's a good team. Playoff team. It's a really good team. Kansas City beat Kansas City 8. That's 2. Right there. Let's go. That's it. Oh, head-to-head matchup. What? No way. What do you mean? Head-to-head matchup. Yep, this head-to-head matchup. And loss. Although it is a game, it's a team game. I get it. Their offense only put up 10 points. But that's 3 teams. So let's say out of 3 great teams that they played, Baltimore, Kansas City, Detroit. You could even put, let's say 4 teams. The Rams. 4 teams. Josh Allen went 2-2. Went 2-2 with those 4 good teams they played. Let's take a look at Lamar. Maybe Lamar did better. I don't know. We'll see. You got Pittsburgh. Great team. Philly. Another great team. Chargers. Are they a great team? Yeah. You can say that. Pittsburgh again, but that's divisional, so we'll talk about it later. Cincinnati's a bad team. Let's not pretend like it's not. Denver, mid team. I'm talking quality opponents. Buffalo, beat them. There's 4 teams. Kansas City, 5 teams. So let's see how many playoff teams. How many playoff teams did they actually play? Chiefs, and lost to them. Buffalo. Tampa Bay's a playoff team. Washington's a playoff team. That's four teams right there. Pittsburgh, that's 6. Chargers, that's 7. Philadelphia, that's 8. Houston, that's 9 playoff teams. And obviously Pittsburgh, they played twice divisional. That's why I didn't count it. You mean to tell me that Lamar and the Ravens have played 9 playoff teams, 10 playoff games, opponents, because Pittsburgh twice, 9 playoff teams. Let's see how did they do that. 1 win, 2 wins, right? And a loss. Okay. 2 losses. 3-2 so far. 4-2, 5-2, 6-2, 6-3. Nope, I did that wrong because I'm missing. I gave them. Let's see, against the city. Yeah. Start again because Pittsburgh. So if we don't count, well, we have to count the 2 games versus Pittsburgh. So Texans a win. That's 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2, 6-2. Yeah, 6-3. 6-3. 6-3. 6-3, ladies and gentlemen, versus the 9 playoff teams they played, or 9 playoff games they played. 6-3. Let's take a look at Josh Allen. He only played 4 playoff teams: Detroit, Rams, Kansas City, Houston, Baltimore. That's 5. That's it. It's 5. 5 playoff games. 5 playoff teams that they played. That's it. 5 playoff team. Is Seattle even in the playoffs? I don't know. Let's see. Gotta double check because they're NFC. So let me see. Nope. Just as I thought. They're not. 5 playoff games. Okay, let's see how did they do. They beat Detroit, to me, one of his best games by far. 1-0. Lost to the Rams, 1-1. Kansas City beat Kansas City, 2-1. Okay. Lost to Houston, 2-2. Lost to Baltimore, 2-3. Lamar in the 9 playoff caliber teams that he played went 6-3. Josh Allen in the 5 games went 2-3. Yeah, but he beat Detroit Lions, the number 1 team in the top 3 team in the league. There's no doubt about that. And the 2 number 1 teams. Let's say 1 and 2. You could flip a coin. Kansas City and Detroit. He beat both of them. Does that carry more weight than the other wins? At the end of the day, a win is a win. But if you're gonna put it into context, yeah, man, those are 2 huge wins for Josh Allen and the Bills. 2 huge wins. Again, wins come for the entire team. Some people say it's a quarterback stat. Some other people say it's not a quarterback stat. At the end of the day, did you put your team in a position to win? More often than not, the quarterback, like almost always, is one of the major deciding factors for that. But the two teams, again, both of them have played versus playoff teams. Lamar has played double the amount of playoff teams. Has a much better record versus those winning 500 teams. Now you want to go head to head? Bills beat Kansas City, and if I'm not mistaken, Lamar lost to Kansas City, right? Let me just make sure. Yep, lost to Kansas City. Okay. Even head to head with each other, Lamar and the Ravens blew out the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Blew out the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. 35-10. That's head to head. Even versus Houston, they both play Houston. Ravens 31-2. That was nasty work. And I think, yeah, guess what? Bills lost to them 23-20. That's a head to head right there. A team they both played. So when I hear, ladies and gentlemen, that some people are considering Josh Allen to be the MVP over Lamar, I understand why. The gameplay, the teams they've played against, these 2 teams between the Bills and the Ravens are top teams in the division, guys. What about the overall record? Okay. Overall record. Let's see. I believe Bills are currently. Let me check here real quick. Yep, Bills are 13-3 overall. Better than the Ravens. Ravens are 11-5. Not taking that away. So, Bills are still winning despite Josh Allen. And the Ravens cannot win without Lamar Jackson. So, does that mean that as the most valuable player to their team in the season, wouldn't that also be considered? Hmm? Hmm? It's a question. You know, you can answer it. That's why I asked who should be MVP this year, Allen or Lamar. They're having some of the best gameplay by quarterback that you could expect and that we've seen in a long time. The level of consistency and high play from both of these quarterbacks, absolutely phenomenal. One of the major reasons why I'm a football fan because I get to watch good football, even if it's an opponent in my division or the conference. So we can't take this away, ladies and gentlemen. Both the answer is both of these guys should be MVP. But at the end of the day, they're not doing co-MVP. One of them will be MVPs. And guess what? Ravens, their next game, they're going to be playing. Ravens are playing the Cleveland Browns divisional game, 4 o'clock on this Saturday, 4:30 on ESPN and ABC. Divisional game. Divisional games are always hard. Always hard. That's why when a team loses to a opponent that's way worse than them, I'm like, I'm never surprised because guess what? It's a divisional game, guys. They see you twice a year. They know exactly who you are and what to expect. So are they going to lose to the Browns already? Probably. Maybe not. I don't think so. I think they'll beat them. It's all about matchups. We'll see. But this absolutely tells me this is going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be a fun game to watch. And I think that this week 18, it's kind of both quarterbacks are playing bad teams. Josh Allen playing the Patriots. Um, that's who he's playing, and he's playing in on Sunday in Foxborough at 1 o'clock. This is gonna be two power teams playing versus two bad teams. Let's see what the teams do. Do they have their quarterbacks play or not? I think the Ravens will have Lamar playing because guess what? The Ravens are still in battle for that divisional win. If the Ravens win versus the Browns, they lock up the division win and they remain at third overall in the standings for the playoffs. But if they lose and Steelers win because of their head-to-head matchup and the conference record, Pittsburgh will win the division. So you can bet your bottom dollar that Lamar Jackson will be playing on Saturday at 4:30 p.m. versus the Browns, and you're going to see one of the best games out of him because his team will need it in that divisional game. And if Josh Allen wants to continue to have that MVP talks for him, he's going to have to come out and play. He's going to have to come out and play. But to me, it's very interesting. I'm looking forward to both games because so much is riding on the third seed for the AFC conference as far as playoffs. So Lamar has to go ahead and ball out. And so much is riding for Josh Allen if he really wants to be the MVP. Those are the only things, in my opinion, that are going to be very interesting moving forward between these two. The last week of the season, what kind of numbers are you going to put up? What kind of show are you going to put up? Because all the voters, they're going to be watching. And they're going to be asking, ooh, was this enough? Did he do enough? I get it. Both players are playing, divisional rivals. Both divisional rivals are bad. But how did you perform? Were you the most valuable player in that game? And let's see. Again, I thought Josh Allen got it when he played versus the Lions, number one overall in the NFC. And the way that he ended up winning that game, put that team on his back and actually got that win. Man, one of the best games in the season. One of the best games in the season. One of his best games in his career, in my opinion. I thought, I'm like, after this win, I mean, I think he did it. I think he locked it up. But then again, here comes Lamar kicking butts and taking names, and then you're like, holy smokes! I don't know. This is like a heavyweight bout, going the distance to round 12. You know, ding ding ding. Who's gonna get it? Uh, 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 like who's gonna get it, people? I don't know. It's so good. Like it's awesome. As a football fan, this is exactly what you want. You want great football, and right now these two players, man, they're giving it to us. Just depends on what the voters are gonna end up doing. Now, they could give it to Josh Allen because of fatigue of Lamar getting it. He's already won what, two MVPs? If he wins it this year, he'll end up getting back to back for the first time in his career. And it'll be back to back since Rodgers got it a few years ago. But if we're being honest, if you're going to take a look at the games, even again, 6-3 versus 9 playoff teams, Lamar is 2-3 versus 5 playoff teams. Although 2 of them were the number 1 seeds in the conference, each conference, it's still 2-3 versus those good teams. So it's a lot to be weighed. We gotta see exactly what ends up happening and what the voters end up valuing more, because honest to God, it really is up to them. And we'll see. But you let me know. Put in the chat, put in the comment section. What do you think? Who do you think is gonna win MVP? I think it's gonna be a lot of fun trying to predict that. So we gotta just wait and see.